any of you guys ever wondered what your estate sale would say about you? Like, if you had to pack up all of your stuff and move out of the country and sell everything that you owned, what would people learn about you from the stuff that you were selling? Would it be, oh, that's Kathy, and Kathy clearly had 27 cats because there's an inch of cat hair on everything? Or would it be like, this is Tim's estate sale and Tim really loved collecting action figures? It can really be anything, but the reality is you can learn a lot about somebody by their estate sale. So I went to this estate sale this week and I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride because I actually feel like if I were to have an estate sale and I needed to sell all of my stuff, it would look shockingly similar to this guy's sale. Old electronics, random wood carvings, things from all over the world, and then just really basic everyday trinkets, old toys. It was the entire spectrum. I want you guys to look at what I did. That's the trunk of my car. I may have filled up my entire car with junk from the sale. His prices were absolutely insane. There was literally no way I could go to this sale and not fill up my car. Right when I get there, I notice he has some amazing things from all different parts of the world. I love things from different countries, and the first thing I see is this incredible table. Now, I don't buy a lot of furniture because I ship everything. It's completely made out of lacquered, so it's wood with a really beautiful lacquered finish, and then it has mother of pearl inlay details to it. A lot of times people want a lot of money for these. He only wants $25 for it. I can probably sell it for about $150. And the good thing is that it's a smaller table, so it's actually really easy to just kind of make a box for it and ship it out. It's really lightweight, so it's easy to ship. It's not huge. And then look at these details on it, you guys. This is all like pearl. So then I started kind of like freaking out and seeing what else I could find. He did not disappoint. Look at this mask. This is a Makishi mask from Zambia. So this thing is super cool. This is a ceremonial dance mask. These masks are used for initiation ceremonies for the young men in the tribe. And it's sort of like summer camp. It's sort of like school, but basically this initiation ceremony would be these young men would leave their tribe and be completely isolated for about a month. And during that time, they'd be learning about all kinds of different things. But when they return, they basically do a graduation ceremony, and it's a beautiful dance ceremony where these masks are worn, and these masks are made to depict different characters of spirits and ancestors that would have helped them through that initiation process. I actually have another mask from this tribe as well, and this one is also a helmet mask, but you can see they're very similar. This one here is actually really old, and it's a good size. The material on this is really cool. It's just like a bark cloth, so it's really delicate. He only wanted $25 for this, so like, yes, I'm taking this. It was so hard for me to just not want to like spend my entire day here because there was so many different things from all over the world, so many different things from different parts in history. The next thing that I found was this incredible Mexican folk art statue. Now this is an Alebrije statue. I actually mentioned these in a video a while back because I was in Mexico and they have a lot of this type of art there, but this art comes from Oaxaca. This is all hand done. These take so much time to make. They're completely hand carved, they're completely hand painted. A lot of them have like crazy things coming out of them, and every single piece is a different piece of wood that has to be carved and painted. So something like this can take a lot of time to make. Now, you always want to check for an artist's signature because an artist's signature or an artist's name is always going to make something a little bit more valuable. I flip it over and it has the artist's name right here on the foot, which is great. Literally, this is the first time I've ever found one of these that's this big. He only wants $25 for this, you guys, $25. I cannot deal with the price situation at this estate sale. These things can go for a lot of money. Even the smaller ones can go for hundreds of dollars. As you get into the larger pieces like this here, they can go for $500 to $1,000. As I continue walking through this estate sale, you guys, I mean, there's just so much stuff. Nothing is garbage. Everything is something. There's incredible collections of old toys. These old cars are really cool, even though the paint is completely chipped. Like, they're definitely old and they're very, very cool. He has a whole stack of these vintage Coca-Cola trays. Now, these Coca-Cola trays are not super old, but a good way to tell if they're reproductions, a lot of them will have a date, and the date's gonna be on the inside of this lip here. A lot of these were made in like the 70s and the 80s, so they're gonna have a date right on the inside of the lip, which is kind of hard to find, but if you can find that, you can tell that they're not super valuable. The next thing I see is this Giuseppe Armani figurine. He's an Italian sculptor who was born in the 1930s, and then he died in the early 2000s, but his stuff is super collectible, and it looks like it's priced on the bottom for $150. This one comes in the original box, which helps, but I can't pay the amount that they're asking for this. Even though it has the original box, that definitely helps. But I want you to remember this, because we're gonna circle back to good old Giuseppe Armani before we leave this sale. So I go out into the backyard, you guys, and the backyard is no different. I cannot even believe the things that this guy has just in his backyard. Like, what? I'm looking around and immediately I look into the bushes, because that's what you do when you're in a stranger's backyard. You start going through the bushes, right? That's not weird at all. I'm glad I did, because there's amazing Mexican folk art just hanging out in the bushes, like literally in the bushes, not even on display. Like somebody just shoved these in the bushes 22 years ago and forgot about them. What? Why? These are incredible. I see these hand-carved, hand-painted Mexican folk art angels. And not only are these things really incredible, but they are, once again, a ridiculously massive size that I have never seen before. One of them is actually missing pieces. Just like some of the Alabrigi figurines, these are going to have wooden pieces that connect and come out, and they're all hand-painted and hand-carved. But this other one in here has everything on it. So here it is, you guys. Bam! This thing is so cool. So you can see each thing is like its own piece, and you can take all of these out. These are the wings. Then it has this horn that's also removable. It's got a separate arm. It's such a good size, and he wanted $10. $10. Just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, here's one that I already have. Okay, this doesn't even have any like separate pieces, but I sell these for anywhere from $80 to $150 for something like this. This, he wanted $10 for. This is incredible, you guys. And for being shoved in a bush, it's in really good condition. Not only did I find this amazing folk art, but he has tons of antique electronics, and just anything you could think of is here somewhere. He's got old radios from like the 20s and the 30s made out of Bakelite and old wood, and there's old turntables and TVs. Look at this TV. What is this? This is incredible. Now, for some reason, he wants a lot for these particular things, so I'm not able to get any of this stuff because it's super expensive. But this one thing that he has was absolutely incredible, and I'd never seen one of these in person before. This thing is so cool. This is an antique air pump. So basically, this would have been used for firefighters, for deep sea divers. So back in the day, if you were gonna go into a burning building, or if you were gonna go diving in the ocean and you had to have oxygen in a mask of any kind, it had to be pumped through a hose by somebody else that was standing where there was fresh air, pumping air with his foot into your mask using this machine. So there's a foot pump, and it would be sucking in the air, and then it would send it through a hose into the mask. So this is actually really cool, and this is in really, really good condition. I was glad to see something like this just so I could show it to you guys. They do go for good money if you can get them for a good price. He just wants quite a bit for it, so I'm gonna have to leave this here, but I was glad to just see something like this and be able to show it to you guys, because it's super cool. You guys remember I told you to remember Giuseppe Armani, so I found that little figurine earlier in the day that I wasn't able to get because they wanted $150 for it. But as I was going through this estate sale, he has another Giuseppe Armani piece that's massive. And one really good rule of thumb with Giuseppe Armani is the bigger the piece, the more it's worth. It's also super stylized, but it's massive. I ask him how much he wants for it, and he tells me $45. I don't know why this one is $45. I'm not gonna ask questions. I turn it over. It has the name of the statue, the Giuseppe Armani sticker, and it has the original price. The original price is $575. It's, you know, it's like super stylized. It's like super dramatic. It's just this woman who's just got married. Her dress is blowing in the wind. I don't know of anything much more dramatic than that. I was like, cool, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that for $45. Thank you so much. And then he's like, oh, you like those, huh? And I'm like, sure, yeah, no, I do. Then he's like, I got another one. It's a little bit bigger. I hope that's okay. I'll sell it to you for 50. And I'm like, these things sell for a ton of money. And then this is the other one that he gave me, and it's massive, once again, dramatic and over the top. It's like this mother with her baby. This thing is worth several $100s. Since this guy now knows that I'm like very serious about buying all of his stuff, he starts kind of like bringing some other things out. He's like, well, maybe you like this. Yes, I like everything, basically. I like everything. So he pulls out this bronze bust, which I think is absolutely incredible. This thing is beautiful. He wanted $175 for it. I was able to talk him down to 80. With bronzes, I'm always gonna make sure that it's signed. You know, you wanna be able to research who the artist was. Something like this is really, really good quality. So I did not have a problem paying $80 for something like this. And then the other thing he brings out is this here, which is also really cool. And this also looks like it was in a bush in his yard just because it's super freaking dirty. I'm gonna remove this. It's literally just screwed on. It's basically a hand-carved wooden panel from Indonesia. I've had a couple of these over the years and he only wanted $10 for this. So I'm like, yes, I will take that. And there was no way that I could leave here without filling up my car. As I was paying and I was getting ready to load up my car with all this stuff, I saw this amazing antique mandolin from the 1800s. It is totally hand carved. Look at the detailing on this. It's got amazing mother of pearl inlay detailing into the wood, which is totally incredible. But then the really, really cool thing is, look at the writing on the front of the case. It's dated, and the person that originally owned it had written all of this stuff from the 1800s. That's amazing! That's amazing, and sadly I had to leave this here because it's just not really worth that much. He wants $80 for it. I think I could probably sell it for like $150, but then after shipping and fees, like I just couldn't really justify getting it. This is the kind of estate sale that I live for, you guys. I don't know why this guy had some of the largest sizes in these things that I've ever seen in my entire life. So I want to hear from you guys. What would your estate sale say about you? If you had to sell all of your stuff and move across the world, what would people's first impression of your items be? Would it be that this person was a collector of a specific item, or this person traveled a lot, or this person loved to knit because every single thing at this estate sale is hand knit in some way, shape, or form? So leave your comment in the comment section below. I'm super excited to read your responses and hear about what your estate sales would be. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, make sure you do it now so you don't miss future episodes. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.